This is the music timing meter for the Marble Machine 3. I've used my favorite kind of gears for this, double helical gears with staggered teeth. The meter helps me play tight music in a simple but kind of magical way. And right here is where the magic happens. When these stars align, the music will automatically be tight on the Marble Machine 3. But why is there a bell here? Will this bell ring? And if this bell rings, why would it ring? And if we have bells, why don't we have whistles? Well, we don't need bells and whistles for this design, because I'm a better designer now, which means we only need bells, okay? The music timing meter is one of the most important parts of the entire Marble Machine, but why is it so important? I designed 90 parts and assembled them all to solve the big problem with my Marble Machine. The issue is that I power the machine manually by turning this crank, and if I add too much energy, the music plays too fast. If I add too little, the music plays too slow. The challenge is to deliver exactly the right amount of energy for the music to be perfect speed. This problem made my first machines completely unusable for live concerts. You lose. Preventing the world tour that I have been dreaming of for years. So for my third Renaissance Marble Machine, I have made up my mind to fix this problem once and for all, and I've spent 2 years and I have solved it. The music timing meter is the final piece of the puzzle. It solves my problem in a simple but absolutely magical way. And right here is the magic. When the large star aligns perfectly with this ring and the small star centers exactly in the middle, the energy input is automatically balanced and the music plays tight at perfect speed. But how does it actually work? And will that bell actually ring? This is my best dressed friend, Christian Huygens, inventor of the magical Huygens drive. Huygens created the drive to improve clock accuracy, and I discovered it in a video using the drive to track stars precisely with a telescope. When I saw this video, I instantly knew that this was the solution I'd sought for 2 years. Imagine the feeling finding the fix for my big problem in a video with 356 views from a channel with 18 subscribers. Thank you, Al the Prophet, whoever you are. The Huygens drive feature a large weight, a counterweight, a driven wheel, and a ratcheted power input. And here's my first prototype where you can see the large weight falling. But when I add energy by turning the ratchet, the weight stops falling and instead it hovers at the same level, and this is exactly what we want. When the weight stays still at the same place, I have balanced the power input correctly and the music will play at the correct speed. The weight is connected to the music meter with Bowden cables, and when the weight moves up, the wheel turns clockwise. When the weight moves down, the wheel turns anti-clockwise, and when the weight is hovering, the wheel stops moving. And again, this is exactly what we want. So when the meter is hovering around the area where the stars are aligned, we will know that the music speed will be correct. This was my second Huygens prototype. It delivered tight music at perfect speed. It was awesome. My third prototype used 4 methods to balance the manual energy: a small flywheel, the Huygens drive, a flyball governor, and a large flywheel. Yes! And this drivetrain played super tight music. So by linking the position of the weight to the music timing meter, I have finally solved my big problem. And the solution is absurdly simple, as all great solutions are. When the stars are aligned, I know I'm delivering the perfect power and the music is going to make people dance. I designed and printed over 90 individual parts that I printed on my Bamboo Lab X1C, and I used a couple of very interesting engineering filaments, and the result is the first finished module of the Marble Machine 3. And as much as I'm in love with the look of this is not designed to look cool, it is designed to be pure form from function. And talking about that function, I think it's time now to see if that bell is actually going to ring. When the weight goes all the way down to the ground, the weight will rest on the ground and basically the machine comes to a standstill and nothing happens. But what happens when the weight goes too high? If we lift the weight too high, the whole machine would break and the world tour is over. So we have some warning systems built in here. First, we get a visual warning of the falling of the stars. That tells us we're in danger zone territory. I had a similar system on the previous version with the red here indicating danger zone. And when it gets too high, we have the visual warning. But what if I'm playing music and I'm over here, I'm super into the music? Then I found out in my design requirements that it would be good to have an audible warning so I can hear that danger is coming. That's why we have the bell. Imagine being in the middle of a nice song and it's like, no, 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 no. It's a nice moment in the concert. No, 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 no. It's like the whole arena will be like, no. Designing and building the very first module for Marble Machine 3 has been so much fun, and I think the beauty and functionality of this module sets a great direction for the entire project. If you want to see more from the design process, check out our second YouTube channel, Wintergatan 2, where we have started a vlog series covering the day-to-day progress of the Marble Machine project. We're already at 12 episodes, and we can make this extra content thanks to all the wonderful Wintergatan backers who are supporting us through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Thank you all so much. I'll leave a link to the playlist in the description. There's one way to assemble this wheel wrong, and I managed to. I had to take apart everything. So this is how I assembled the gear, and this is how the gear should be assembled. Here's my self-portrait currently. And we're done with the first assembly. I really like how this turns out. I printed all these double helical gear segments in a tough engineering filament, PPA-CF from Bamboo Lab. PPA-CF is a carbon fiber reinforced filament, and it's strong, heat resistant and dimensionally super stable, which makes it nice for things like gears. I dried the filament on high heat in the AMS HT dryer, and the Bamboo Lab X1C printer does a great job printing all these parts. With high performance filaments, it's often extra important to have them really dry before printing, and the AMS HT goes to 85 degrees, and it also rotates the spools while drying, and it's automatically venting out humid air, and it feels great knowing that you're high performance filaments are dry when printing those production parts. And when it was first released, it was only compatible with the H2D, but it's now compatible with the PNX series and soon also with the A series. I'm using gloves here to be extra careful when working with carbon fiber filaments, and if I ever need to sand carbon fiber, I would definitely use a respirator. For the second gear assembly, I tried another high performance engineering filament, polycarbonate or PC. PC also seems like a good choice for mechanical parts because it's tough, it has high impact resistance and great dimensional stability. It's really cool knowing that with filaments like this you can make production parts at home and not only prototypes. These parts will maintain their shape over a long time thanks to the dimensional stability of the filament. We're getting ready to assemble the third gear, which is the gear that has most aura in the whole assembly. But first we have to discuss my latest engineering crush, the heroic shoulder bolts. You could say that the entire design is resting on the shoulders of shoulder bolts, and you wouldn't exaggerate. So the flat part on these bolts is a precision ground shaft with an age 8 tolerance, which means that they are slightly undersized and makes them perfect for fitting bearings onto. No more use of threaded rods for bearing for me after this. For every part that clicks together, the aura of the third gear is intensifying, and this is not your typical everyday run-of-the-mill aura. This is shoulder bolt infused aura, all right? I mean, just look at it. Just look at it for a moment. This is what happens when I do voiceover 3 o'clock in the night after 20 hours of editing. But anyway, the gear sub-assemblies are all completed. So these gears meshes really nicely. And this meshes really nicely too. But in order to get all three together, we need to put together the frame. The lock nuts are held by these hexagon holes, which means I can use only one hand to tighten the bolts. This reminds me of Tintin's rockets, and it's completely unintentional. I love the shape. I prepared the second frame cooking show style, so let's put this together. On the front one we have a round hole, and on the back one we have a hexagon hole for the hex nuts. I printed the frame in a third filament carbon fiber reinforced PLA CF, and this stuff comes out of the printer with almost no visible layer lines. So let's check in here on the frame, and the print is going really nice. I love the look of the side of this PLA carbon fiber filament. It looks like an SLS print almost. Very nice. Nice. Oh, that's lovely. All right, let's see if it holds together. And it does. So now for the most satisfying, to tighten these shoulder bolts. Ooh, I'm seeing the frame squeezing together. And the nut is held by the print, so I can just tighten it with one hand. Turns out I've become a better gear train designer because this just works first try. Thanks to the shoulder bolts, we can have this open skeleton clock design, and we can make this frame so minimalistic with so few pieces. Also keeps the whole assembly together in this direction. I couldn't be more pleased. That's not all. We have more cool stuff to add to this. It's time for the bell. I needed a way to hold this bell here, and I found this antler design online that worked super good as a bracket like this. So I found this strange diadem online, and turns out that fits perfectly as a beater for the bell. So let's try to use that. This little notch here on the spoke engages with the arm and lifts the arm up. And because of the geometry that I calculated in Onshape in this sketch, the arm will eventually slip off the notch and play the bell. But then, most importantly, I designed this engagement so that on the way back, the whole system would reset. So it engages in one way and resets when it goes back. And here's the same thing again from another angle. You can see how it engages, lifts up, it slips off. And on the way back, it just goes straight through the flap and the system is reset. Right here, there's another one of these small notches that control our next assembly. This is the Stars Are Aligned assembly, and I designed it as an homage to Christian Huygens with this astronomy charts in mind that Christian drew so beautifully. I find enormous solace in the perspective of space. All my neurotic worries pales a bit in that wonderful perspective. So I don't mind astronomy aesthetics seeping into my Renaissance marble machine. In the middle of the wheel, there's this key, and the trigger has a corresponding key that allows the trigger to rotate freely for a bit and then suddenly engage with the star wheel. This design is also taking care of the reset of the system. I want this small moon to be exactly in the middle when the back circle is exactly in the middle. And as you can see, here's the back circle in the middle. Then this thing has rotated too far. I think we can dial this in with a file. This little peg here is the thing activating the moons. So here comes our shaped trigger, and here comes the ring going into alignment. Oh, that is satisfactory. So the music will be tight here and here and here. The music will be very tight, even like this. It's just to have some place to aim for. So this assembly is done. I cut some plywood pieces using a track saw, and then I built a stand for the mock-up weight. People liked my ability to draw straight lines, so now I need to do it again here. So this is the idea. And then I could put all this together, and the first module of the Marble Machine 3 is completed. I have enjoyed every second of making this assembly, and with me through the journey has been my X1C printer from Bamboo Lab, who is also sponsoring this video. And I'm really happy to have the support of Bamboo Lab for the Marble Machine project, because their tools is really helping me achieve my dreams. And I'll put my affiliate link in the description, and using that link helps the Marble Machine project. And something else that truly helps the Marble Machine project is the Wintergatan backers. Thank you to everyone who are supporting through Patreon and YouTube memberships. And you know what? We're currently at 998 backers. So can we get to 1,000? That would be fantastic. Thanks to your support, we can make the extra vlog series on the second YouTube channel, which we're enjoying so much to make. Thank you. And even though this musical timing meter isn't on the most critical path to getting the machine onto a world tour, I do think it points out a wonderful direction for the entire project. And I'm really looking forward to making progress and sharing that with you all. Thank you very much for watching.